So here we go. 3 clear. Is that too close? Going to have to find the bottom corner.
Game, shot.
And he does.
And
Middle of the bed from Ryan Harrington. Seals a 4-1 win in our opening game over Michelle van der Horst. Coming up after the break, we're going to see a blockbuster of a tie between Shane McGurk and Thibaut Tricol. Big moments here. He's going to get 2 darts at 888. Just work off of that guide,
Game,
and he does it to perfection. Thibaut Tricol is back in this match, and that was needed because McGurk had the darts there.
4th leg is Thibaut.
3-0 would have been an awful long way back.
The line here to get over the line. Tops to seal it for Shane. Double 10.
Game, shot.
Found with the last dart in hand, and Shane McGurk gets the better of Thibaut Tricol by 4 legs to 2. He's off and running for the day, and for Thibaut Tricol, it is a opening game defeat once again. For McGurk, it's a very tidy opener, 91.4 the average, and 4 out of 11 when it came to the finishing. So, one more game to go in our first cycle of fixtures. It sees the return to the Super Series of Jack Main as he takes on Lisa Ashton.
Jack, you require 96.
Jack Main, possible 14 darter. I'm sure he'll take 15. Double. Tops.
Game shot in the first leg.
Absolutely sensational from Jack Main. Double. 96 finish to take the opener in 15 darts. And the main man looking in the mood here. Can you work off of that, Lisa?
15.
How has that not gone in?
Jack, you require
It's come inside
72.
the dart and somehow gone between point and wire.
She did the right thing, but it didn't find what she wanted. So 15 for the ball for Jack Main.
Game shot in the third
Succulently
leg.
found.
Jack Main.
The main man beds the ball to lead 2-1. After Ashton had 2 opportunities of her own to get the leg one on double 16. That wins her the game.
76.
Gets the opening points on the board. 2 at 888.
Game,
only
shot,
needs the
and
one.
match,
And the
Lisa
Lancashire
Ashton.
Rose is up and running in Group C, getting the better of Jack Main by 4 legs to 3. An impressive game, a standard bearing game. Lisa Ashton with a 96.24 average, 4 out of 8 when it comes to the doubles. That's her best average over the course of the week so far. We're going to take a short break. When we return, Michelle van der Horst and Shane McGurk will return.
Same MO, 14s. This time he can't find the treble, but double 14. And that is sensational from Shane McGurk. He missed it last time out, but this time pins it, and we are going the distance, Henry. 10s or 18s, what's your choice? 2 at tops to win it. Drag low, 10s. But this time, Shane McGurk pins double 10 to come from behind to seal the point as he goes 2 from 2 in Group C. Coming up after the break, we're going to see Lisa Ashton against Ryan Harrington.
136.
Can you take it out, Ryan? Another one of them. Leaves 888.
Game shot in the second leg. Ryan Harrington.
And you may say, where has that come from? Because there was no indication in that leg whatsoever that that finish was on the cards. Huge moment there, and you could see by the reaction from Lisa there, she knows this is a big moment. It's in. Harrington, 2 darts at double 16.
Game,
and there it is, last dart in hand. Ryan Harrington seals a 4-2 victory, and he goes top of Group C with 2 wins from 2. Coming up after the break, we're going to see Jack Main against Thibaut Tricol.
111.
51-19 for double 16.
Game shot in the first leg.
What a start to this game from Thibaut Tricol. 80 after 12 against the darts. This is fabulous.
180.
Scoreboard pressure from van der Horst. But can Lisa Ashton find double 10 to
Game,
win
shot,
4-3
and the match,
with a
Lisa
14 darter, and that is exactly what champions of the world do. Find big moments in big legs, and Lisa Ashton does exactly that to get the better of Michelle van der Horst by 4 legs to 3. Both players averaging 92, but crucially 50% on the doubles is what gets it done for Lisa Ashton. 2 140s in that final leg afforded her the opportunity to win it in 14, and so Ashton makes it 2 wins from her 3 matches. After the break, this is a big match. It's McGurk against Maine. So a battle of ton plus finishes to see who can go 3-2 up. McGurk first up with the 103. And he is going to get a dart in his hand. A double 12 to go 3-2 up.
McGurk.
And how seismic could that be for Shane McGurk? But more importantly, to the hopes and chances of Jack Maine.
Where's he going? He's gone the aggressive route. Is that the right way? It may be.
No score.
And it's miscounted. Jack Maine, at the crucial time, has miscounted.
He has to
Jackie
come back from the
92.
start.
Jack Maine, how's your head? Gets a second chance. But you can just see the cogs were turning. He was still thinking about the visit before. However, he's rescued the situation.
Jack
Maine pins the 92 to send us all the way. The champagne shot for Jack Maine to win it.
The champagne finish. Oh, another one of them. That's plum. Not to be. And so McGurk, who has already squandered 3 darts to win this game, is going to get 3 more in his hand to dispose of Jack Maine, who is sat waiting on tops himself. But McGurk makes no mistake this time, and he gets the better of Jack Maine by 4 legs to 3 in a decider. And so McGurk moves on to 6 points, the first player to make it 3 from 3 in this particular group. And so for Jack Maine, there is work now for him to do if he is to qualify for Saturday night's finals. Ryan Harrington can join McGurk on 6 points if he can get the better of Thibaut Tricol after this short break. Goes inside. And so it's only going to be 1 at double 2. Only needs the 1 as it sneaks into the bottom corner, and Ryan Harrington gets the better of Thibaut Tricol by 4 legs to 3 in a last leg decider. A nervy game which was played by missed doubles. Both players missing, more than 10 in Harrington's case, 13 in the case of Tricol. But it is Ryan Harrington who moves on to 6 points, moves to the top of the group after the end of the 3rd round of fixtures. Next up, it's the other man who's unbeaten thus far, Shane McGurk, up against Lisa Ashton. Himself
69.
Onto 8 points and to really assert his authority upon this group. It's going to be 1 dart, a double 16 for Shane McGurk to wrap up a 4-1 victory over the 4-time champion of the world, Lisa Ashton. Doing so with a ton-topping average of 100.29. 4 out of 7 when it came to the doubles, and McGurk did go berserk by getting the better of Lisa Ashton in impressive style. He marches to the top of the table on 8 points. When we return, Thibaut Tricol and Michelle van der Horst are in must-win territory. It missed, and so Tricol gets that bite of the cherry once again.
Looking at double 10. Needs to move inside, and does. Thibaut Tricol finds double 10. Second dart at the target to seal 4-1 victory, averaging 82.24, and a huge 2 points takes Thibaut Tricol up into 3rd place in the table. Coming up after the break, we're going to see Jack Maine against Ryan Harrington. Double 10 leaves double 15. It's a double-double combo you don't see too often.
Game shot.
It was effective.
Jack Maine.
He's still looking at the screen now. He's not convinced he's hit it. Look at him. He's still not sure, even though Justin's called game shot.
194.
Excellent dart. Tots of Harrington.
Game
to level up at 1 apiece
in.
What was it? Has to be said, a very strange leg.
But 82.
The 9 has gone. Jack Maine now turns his advantage to winning it. 70.
There's 7 left. He has a glance over to the referee, Justin Bradshaw.
Again, board management there.
80. Ryan, you require 170.
He's left himself on double 1. And Harrington will not take out the fish. Well, I've got to say,
41.
I've not seen many 13 darters taken out on double 1. I have
shot
now!
on the third leg. Jack Main.
I've seen it all. I don't think I've got any words for that. That's one of the moments of the series so far.
And so Jack Main wants Tops to get his first points of the group. Tops gets it done for Jack Main, who gets the points on the board in the end. He deposes of Ryan Harrington by 4 legs to 1. The performance in terms of the numbers is very good. 89.7, 2 maximums, 4 out of 5 on the doubles. A 13 dart leg, 1 on double 1. You don't see that every day here at the Super Series. Right, next up, Tiba Chacol against Lisa Ashton. This is huge in terms of the middle portion of the table.
The day on 6 points, joint second, or at worst third, after losing.
Game shot on the first leg. Tiba Chacol.
It'll be a right result for him.
76.
Oh, hello. Double 18, double top.
Some showboating.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Ooh la la, Tiba Chacol. A little bit of French flair to level up at 2 apiece.
He require 98.
And so can Ashton find a break of throw. Chacol's already taken out 98 in this game. And Ashton's going to do likewise to break the throw, to go 3-2 up. And now she has the darts to move on to 6 points overnight. And how quickly can a game change in the fortunes of the Lancashire Rose potentially?
Ryan, you require
Harrington
72.
with a chance to win it. Another. Tops. And Harrington does it. The top of the table clash. Ryan Harrington has given himself a share of the overnight lead in Group C, ending Shane McGurk's unbeaten start to the day. Fabulous stuff from both of them. McGurk 94.38, Harrington 88.83. Coming up after the break is our final game of this session, and it is Michelle van der Horst against Jack Main.
So double 16 to get the job done, to get the game won, to move on to 4 points overnight. 1 left in hand. Not found. Score. And Michelle van der Horst returns to 54 to pick up his first points of the day. Tops
game
found
and the match, Michelle van der Horst
to get the better of Jack Main by 4 legs to 3 in the last game of the session. Main, who had 4 darts to win it himself, to move him on to 4 points overnight. But van der Horst picks up his first points in the final game of the day. And how important could that be in the end proceedings here in Group C in terms of the table scenario? So those are the tails of the tape in our final game of the session. Van der Horst a 4-3 victor, but it is a 2-way tie at the top between McGurk and Harrington. And to describe and discuss all of that up on the balcony, Phil Bars is alongside Chris Murphy.
He certainly is, yeah, thank you, Henry. Jack Main, well, that kind of just typified his day, didn't it? It looked like he'd saved it, but then loses out in the end. And how close were those darts at double?
The darts at double were unbelievably close. The last one in particular, how you can go inside and not go in, sometimes just baffles me. We've seen it a few times today, but yeah, we've seen the good, the bad, and the indifferent of Jack Main all in one session. Yeah, it's been a strange group. We'll take a look at the table as it is at the end of the first day's play. 2 players tied at the top, Shane McGurk and Ryan Harrington, but if you crunch their numbers, McGurk been a much better performer than Harrington, yet level on all of those metrics on that screen. Yeah, that's why we love the sport, and me and Henry were alluding to that same thing in commentary, that if you look at all the numbers, Shane McGurk has been head and shoulders the best player in the group, but only finds himself with a share of the lead overnight. Yeah, Harrington beat him. Lisa Ashton hot on the heels. I think if you've taken that 11-1 might be fancying her tomorrow. She's in the mix, as she always is, and it was pleasing for me that from Group A to here, the improvement has been huge, and she looks more like the Lancashire Rose that we've seen win 4 world titles. Right, we'll have a quick look at how things are panning out this week. We know already that Tommy Morris has made it through Group A, and we've seen Group C this afternoon, but tonight Group B is going to get underway. Patrick Mart
and Daniel Lee we saw in Group A. Dan Reed comes in with Lee Shewan and Steve West. What are your thoughts ahead of that?
I think it's a really exciting group on paper, and I'm sure it will play out that way on stage as well. I was doing a little bit of research as we do. Dan Reed's had a couple of really good performances for Berkshire A on a stage. I know there's no TV cameras, but it's still stage experience, and he's played well here before. But I just think it's a really exciting group, and Lee Shewan is the one. We've seen him here do some really good things, and again, a bit like with Shane McGurk, I think his A game is very exciting, but it's can he find a bit of level ground with that B game?
Just back to this group before we end this afternoon's coverage. The two players we've just seen there, is that them done now? That win doesn't really do that much for Michelle, does it?
It doesn't. Look, if either of them to go through, they're going to have to be perfect tomorrow. Is it doable? Yes, we've seen it before. Will it happen? Unlikely, but they've still got a chance. And while there is a flickering hope, they have to believe.
And one thing that Jack Main must have to work on is his mathematics. He's had a few sort of little meltdowns. It's been one of those days for him, really, hasn't it? And we saw that sort of typified by this mathematical meltdown here.
Yeah, it was a strange one, and he was still looking at the scoreboard afterwards, even after Justin had said no score. He couldn't comprehend it in his own head that he'd miscounted, and then we saw it again a few times where he left 38 and for instead of tops and things like that, and that just sums up his day. And we see it at the very elite level. 1 or 2 points here and there can cause you all sorts of problems.
Yeah, so important to get the numbers right. The only number you need to remember is 10, because 10 p.m. tonight we are back on air with Group B kicking off. Steve West, the leading light in that one. Will he lead the way? It's a 2-player share for top spot. 2 will go through when this group resumes tomorrow. But we will see you at 10.